to be live on the coffee meeting that I put up, and that went haywire. I've been trying to go live. I'm waiting for people to show up. But for those of you who watch after the fact, at least you don't get to see a delay. Um, I had a strange ass glitch between my mobile devices trying to go live, and of course, I don't know how many times I had to click resume stream, but it just wasn't. It wasn't letting me do anything. So I'm just. I'm waiting for you guys to show up here, and I'll have to swap out all of the credentials for the last. Hey everybody. Yeah, I know. I pulled a fast one. You're waiting for the actual coffee stream schedule, and now I know the chat was moving over there. It got screwed up. I was trying to launch the stream between both my phone and my iPad over there. It didn't work. What's going on, Moira? What's going on, Santino? What's going on, Star? What's going on, Redemption Frog? Steven? People are showing up now. My bad. My bad. Well, YouTube's bad, to be honest. How's everybody's weekend? Your Mother's Day. Good morning. Good morning. Cheers to a new week to you all. What's up, Kobe? Aubrey? Um, it was a good weekend for John Urban. Good. It's hot in North Dakota. Hopefully that comes our way. I don't know. It was nice yesterday. It's almost like 80 degrees yesterday. So we got to get little splashes of sunlight in between tending to Aurora, who I think it was a sinus infection. She had all the yellow globs coming out. So, but she's on the up and up. Her fever broke, and she'll probably be 95% tomorrow. She's already looking great today. So that's that. Warm in southeast Ontario. We got low 70s this week until the rain comes back in around, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. See what happens. It's the last full week before we take off tomorrow next weekend. Next week, Tuesday next week is when we cast off into New England for Lauren and I's anniversary. Take Aurora. She's been wanting to go see the woods for a while, so that's that. It'll be nice, but I'll be updating from the road and all that, especially for you guys on Patreon and Subscribe Star. Trying to find ways to get all of the Squarespace sponsors into like a special Discord room or something, just so that we can communicate more effectively, like on Patreon Subscribe Star. So I can just drop more behind the scenes over there along the way. But we'll do streams. I'll use that new Rumble streamer a little bit more. I wanted to use it yesterday, the Rumble Studio, but it didn't allow me to schedule YouTube. So it's one of those things that just have to go live on the spot with no scheduling ahead of time. So there you go. So good morning, good morning. Hello, Nikki. And hello, Metaphysical Cowboy from sunny UK. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about tonight? It's going to be a little bit of news, current events, weekend review, things like that. What do we have? I have a couple things from last week. A couple things from last week. Oh, I got into a Tesla. On Saturday night, and no, yeah, Saturday night I got into a Tesla, and damn, my buddy came by to drop something off at my house, and I said, dude, I never even looked inside of one of these things before. I'll tell you about it tonight, but jeez, I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to be buying one. I don't think I'm ever going to be buying one, but dude, Macron in his cocaine bag. I saw the cocaine bag thing. It's like, can you imagine? Can you imagine showing up and just like, I need a whole bag? You know, what was it? What was her name? Sarah Michelle Gellar from Cruel Intentions. What did she have? A little tiny cocaine capsule around her necklace. Every once in a while, a little scoop, a little bump, a little something off the key, and to see somebody just show up with a sandwich bag of cocaine. The sandwich bag of cocaine. There's like nothing stylish about it at all. We gotta talk about that. Yeah, just a little bit. I have an allergies question for you guys. The allergies question that I posed on Twitter the other day, I'm definitely bringing it up tonight because I got 90% plus of the replies I got. I predicted that most people out there, you know, if you grew up, you always had like seasonal allergies, whatever. But if you have allergies, did you always have them, or did you just develop them over the course of the last 5 to 8 years or so? And man, oh man, I know it's anecdotal, and it's a completely, you know, as far as sample size and everything else, I'm not a pollster, but it's good enough for me. I've never had allergies, and actually, I'm doing pretty good this year. But last year, I had a week that was shitty. The year before that, I got destroyed on Mother's Day. Mother's Day week leading up to Mother's Day, like in 2023, I got destroyed by allergies. And then there's years it just doesn't happen. All this stuff started happening to me within the last 6 years or so. So I'll be bringing that up. We'll have a line designated for that. What else? How the hell did Jay Dyer do that last night? How did Jay Dyer do that last night? I'll talk to you guys about that in a second. Frankie, please have Turtle Boy on your show. You mentioned that over the weekend. I already said I tried. I was actually talking to Turtle Boy. Forget his real name. I was talking to him about a year ago or so because I wanted him to come on and do some court reporting on the Karen Reed trial, because I know that it got pretty personal for him with the Karen Reed trial. I know we're in Karen Reed 2.0 right now, but it was, even though I made contact with him, I think I made contact with him through who? Through Chrissy Mayer? I forget who. I'll try again, but it didn't. Nothing ever materialized. So let's see. Never had hay fever. Now some foods. Had allergy-induced asthma. It sucked. I almost died twice as a kid. I would quit breathing. Damn. Hello from Amon Jordan. Hello, Bill the Drill. What else you guys want to talk about tonight? I kept my Coke in my nostrils, said King. Weird thing is that after it rains, I cough and sneeze. I know. After rain, you think things would calm down. It doesn't. Okay, last night, Jay Dyer's been on like a West Coast podcast. You know, I knew this was coming up because I asked him if he wanted to be part of Film Club this upcoming Monday, the 19th, for the Prestige. We were talking about it during the Sunday stream yesterday. But he was on the Whatever podcast last night, and for almost 8 hours. I admittedly watched maybe like an hour and a half, close to 2 hours of it, with these e-girls, I guess, these cam girls. I don't know if they're cam girls or whatever it is. Some of them probably have OnlyFans. Most of the girls I feel like go on that podcast are so-called modern OnlyFans women. But there was this one motor mouth in there who I guess is like a a female disciple or protege of that other motor mouth, the Destiny. God. I texted Jay this morning and said, how the fuck did you do that for 8 hours? How'd you do that? Oh, I don't even know. Spirit Child, hello, how are you? Thank you for sending me a poopy. Thank you. Phoenix Rains, how are you? How are you? Hello, Rosie. Is technocracy worse than communism? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, probably. I mean, old school communism. I mean, that was just smash mouth communism. Social controls, censorship, all that stuff. But technocracy, you're delivering the same kind of oppression, but through fully mapped digital means, and you can more effectively censor people because most communication is digital these days, and it's a more effective way of taxing people, also to be able to cut off money supplies. I mean, technocracy definitely is worse. There's something wrong with a guy that names himself after a black stripper. Oh, there's something wrong with Destiny, no doubt about it. What's up, Pickled? Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Urban in America just sent a super chat. I've never received super chats before for a live stream. This is very... Then again, I haven't had super chats in 5 years, so this is an amazing thing for the show, seriously, because we need support, especially until we get past this little trademark thing, because I have to keep a lawyer on retainer now until a little pebble in my shoe is taken out. Let's see here. Frank, check out the movie The One I Love. Who doesn't love interesting movies? Let's talk reduced drug prices tonight. Okay, well, The One I Love, send me an email about it, John. Give me a link to it so I don't forget. As far as reduced drug prices, I saw that there was going to be an executive order signed today at 9. I had to see... I want to read into the details on this and how it does reduce drug prices from 30 to 30%. 30 to 80%, I read over the weekend that there was something big going to be signed today. Again, if this is done through deregulation and by limiting the FDA, the FTC, and also, I think that would be great. Scaling back the FDA, the FTC, if not eliminating them altogether, but also taking away immunity, prosecutorial immunity for drug companies. I think it would be great. Let them bring things to the open market, knowing their reputations are on the line, and I think everything else will sort itself out. Also, again, lower all of your corporate taxes and make this place an undeniable haven for people who want to do business. Small business, mid-sized business, or gigantic business. That would be great. Then all of a sudden you'd see a lot of competition, lower prices, and far more accountability for bad products. Lisa, here's something for your legal fund. Wow, Lisa. Thank you. Lisa sending a 50 spot legal. Well, it's going to be so satisfying when this is over. So satisfying. I've acquired counsel. His name, you might know him. His name is Ron Coleman. Ron Coleman. He's on Twitter. He's pretty supportive of Trump and MAGA and, non-progressivism, I guess, to a certain degree. Whatever it is, either way, he's a pretty visible brand. And whenever this is all done, I'd love to have Ron on. He already said he'll do it. Ron said he's going to come on to talk about intellectual property because he's a copyright and trademark lawyer. Is your lawyer a Frankly? Well, he knows of the show because I first met him through an interview that me and Tracy did with Ron back a couple of years ago, and that's when we linked up there. And I realized he's a local and he's a lawyer and all that stuff. I forgot what we were talking about that day on Dark to Light, but when this popped up, I actually contacted Tracy among other friends, and I was like, "Who do you know anybody in our circle who's good with trademark?" She's like, "Ron Coleman. All he does is trademark." I said, all right. So I got in touch with Ron, and shit, this is gonna be good. Listen, no, legal fund. It's not a. It's listen. Don't have to. It's not a legal fund donation war. I don't need to do any GoFundMe's or anything like that. If it gets to the point where this has to be taken to court because the person we're dealing with is really, really not right, then I will let you guys know. But the reason why I don't have to do that many money bombs or anything else like that, and we haven't had to do any fundraisers, is because I'm just very consistent in creating value for people to sponsor the show, with a lot of extras and bonus content and giveaways and stuff, and that gives us a nice operating fund. But I've never had, it's one thing to say, shit, our broadcast computer has shit the bed, and I need Jim Lee to create a new one, and that's going to cost us about $7,000. It's another thing to say, oh, we're going to go to war in an intellectual property sense. Well, I can't wait to tell you. Tracy didn't trademark Uncover DC, but I know it's not really around anymore. Well, no, Tracy's working in Maha. She works with Del Bigtree. She's got a full-time job there, and she didn't want. I was already only doing Friday mornings with her because things with me are getting. I just need to concentrate more and more on Quite Frankly, and I said, let's do Friday mornings. And even at that, she was going every day with her new show, and she didn't want the quality of the show to suffer with splitting time between working full-time with Del Bigtree and this. So if she picks it up one day, I'm sure it's going to be when she feels like she can put 100% good attention into it. So she's doing well. She's out there. What's going on, Doughboy? You live on Kick stream? Now, I'm not on Kick right now, but Kick every night. Let's see. Nino talked about Leo the 14th. I'm looking more into the Leo the 14th, the proximity to whoever the hell, whatever kind of abusers were out there in the Midwest. I'm looking a little bit more into that. I want to know more. What is that bird? I've been hearing that call my whole life. And I don't know what bird it is. I got to figure it out finally. I know the mourning doves. I know the Blue Jays and the Cardinals. But that one in particular is very spring in New York for me. Does anybody know what bird that is? That's a meadowlark? Do we have meadowlarks up here? Hold on. Let me see. Meadowlark in Westchester, New York. Do meadowlarks live up here? I don't know. It's beautiful. It's a tufted titmouse. I hope it's a titmouse. Build the drill, thank you so much. It's so good to have you out there. A few words for the algo. from Houston, Texas. What's up, Lonnie? Joseph Daniel, birds chirping sounds so amazing right now in the morning. Mata, make America dream again. Hey, maybe we can do a show on that. Are you having dreamless nights? When was the last time you had a dream? Have you been dreamless for a certain amount of time and I've been having some weird dreams. The dreams have been getting weird again. No hummingbird feeders, no. Let's see here. Great show. Grew up with Stern and Art Bell in the 90s. Your show captures that quality of talk radio. Wow, Spirit Child, thank you. Thank you. I'd like to build up those audiences. There's something very magical about being in a position in the 1990s to go live so late at night like Art did and have millions of people hear you across 300 plus radio stations. I mean, that's just nuts. And I just love the whole idea of feeding that signal live across a planet. That's so cozy, man. We're going to have to do that digitally, of course. Going to have to do that digitally. But we will. Nicholas Rufa says it's a sparrow. We have sparrows here. Maybe that's it. Can you bring on some young kids to discuss their talents? Like what? I want to bring back some of my little leaguers. I want to bring back Christian and Everett that were on with me last May, but I also want to bring on Brooklyn. I already talked to Brooklyn. Brooklyn she just graduated from Villanova, and she's an animal. She's an animal. She was an animal when she was 11 and 12. And I said, listen, you got to come on now. You got to come on. So I'm hoping she comes on. She's got such an amazing college resume now. All these ESPN highlights and stuff like that. I would love to have them all come on. That'd be great. So I'm going to work on that again. Frank needs to start a bird chirp stream with the camera on a lava lamp. You know, I wish I could do something like that. Like, you're talking like those eagle cams, where they have the eagle's nest camera. I should do one of those things. Have you ever had Owen Benjamin on? No, but Owen and I follow each other on Twitter, and I told him I'd love for him to come on the show, especially if he's ever in New York. He said he told me that sounds cool. Obviously, not a lot of people travel through New York these days unless there's some. This is another reason why I just want to. I want to bring on at least just 1% more of the audience as monthly sponsors, because I want to grow the margins. I want to grow the margins a little bit more so that I can establish a yearly travel budget. A yearly travel budget so that I can fly people in a couple times a year, like really good guests, to fly them in. Oh, I don't know what kind of chemistry we'd have, but that would not be a YouTube night. It would not be a YouTube night. That's all I would say. Just like when G. Edward Griffin comes on, he had to push back. His Red Pill Expo ends in mid-July. G. Edward Griffin has confirmed that he'd like to come on Thursday the 17th. So when G. Edward Griffin comes on again for his third appearance, that will not be a YouTube night, because I'd like to talk to him about all of his work into, health cures, if you know what I mean. So that'll be a good one. But travel budgets is a big one. I got to be able to say, hey, I'd love to fly you into New York. I'd love to put you up at this Marriott over here or something like that and have you on the show. And if I can do that with one good guest per quarter. So we'll see here. I watched Sudden Impact movie one night, Nightmare. My property was taken over by a gang. What? Oh, you had Nightmare. Property was taken over a gang, me and friends held hostage. Okay. Abused and killed. Movie obviously influenced my nightmares. Jeez, Kelly. Yeah, start watching something nice before bed. Did those conjoined twins pop out a baby or two? Oh, we have to follow up on that. We have to follow up on that. We do have to follow up on that. I'm looking forward to the June 7th stream with my brother, the second episode of The Brothers on Saturday night, because that is going to be with R.J. Williams. You guys finally get to have the full story about R.J. Williams and the bank robberies. Also, the Saturday stream with my father and my cousin Jeff has been moved from this Saturday to July 21st. And then I have on July 26th, Saturday night, July 26th. No, that's not July. June 21st is my father and my cousin Jeff. And then on July 26th is another episode of Zadal's in New York. So me, Anthony, and Mike get together on July 26th. Zadal's in New York, the retirement years. It's like, those extra seasons of Saved by the Bell that you didn't watch nearly as much. Did anybody like Saved by the Bell the college years? Or whatever the hell it was? Hey Frank, does your brother catch any flack on normie leftist YouTube for his association with you? That's a great question. I don't think so. Then again, we haven't had too much overlap. And, what's up, Benny? We haven't had too much overlap, but I'll ask him. I told Anthony that we have to start combining our networks, especially when it comes to our joint streams together. We have to do that. But I don't think he's caught any flack. Though I'm sure he would. But I don't think that his audience is as left-wing as you think. Because though a lot of people like his work, there's a lot of just casual viewers out there that don't dig too deeply into it. And I think the core of his audience is hardcore heavy metal, hard rock types. Even though there's a lot of progressive nonsense going on in heavy metal these days. Weird. College years, was that when Screech did porn? No, that was in the postgraduate years. Oh, Kelly. Frank, we love you, sending all the positive healing vibes and energy, vibrations, frequencies, prayers, along with truckloads of love. Big but gentle hugs, monolithic ton of perseverance, always. Well, Kelly, you're something special. Thank you for that. I did not expect this on our Monday morning coffee stream, which, by the way, I've iced it up today, jam-packed full of Keto Brainz, and I'm feeling like I'm taking flight right now. All the Keto Brainz stuff is right below in the description of the episode. You're you're really something else, Kelly, and I can't wait to meet you. I have a feeling that Kelly's going to show up to the September event. I can't wait to meet Kelly at the September event. I don't know why the hell she just doesn't take I was going to say a helicopter. Don't do that. I wouldn't take a helicopter ride anywhere. But definitely not from Louisiana to New York. I was not a fan of Zach and Tori. Good morning, Frank. Methylene Blue. Any updates on that? Yeah. Jay said he actually has things building on that and he wants to talk about it. So whenever, the weeks down the line, like in July or whenever Jay comes back for a science dive kind of a night, it'll be good. September is going to be good. I can't wait for King to come by again. This will be good. I wonder what King's going to wear. I bet you any money he's going to show up looking dapper. Will Santino show up looking dapper? Is he going to look like John Travolta, 1982? I think so. John Travolta, 1982. I think so. I think that's where we're going. Disco shirt, 1000%. What's it going to be? It's going to be silk. Hat. We'll see what happens. I will do my best. Frank, have you ever had on Mr. Ballin? No, but I have made many attempts to get him on. Great storyteller. Thought he'd be a great guest. It's so I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. I've tried to get the guy that runs the All Time channel on. The All Time channel is the one that does all of the updates on Mandela effect and other weird stuff. I'd also like to get Wang on. You guys ever watch? You guys have had to have watched the Wang channel, right? WHANG. I think he's in Brooklyn. Wang is awesome because he does that whole series, Tales from the Internet. Oh man, a lot of it is just gross and disturbing, but Tales from the Internet is awesome. And I would love to have him on for like a Friday night in studio, pack a hookah, and just talk about strange things that we've been exposed to. All the people and the characters that have been able to bring their story to the rest of us through the internet. Lemmy sends €5 asking where Matt is. I don't know how to answer that question anymore. So, not here. Not here. His life has taken him in a different direction. I continue to try to make contact on behalf of our entire circle of family and friends, and that's all I can tell you for the 98th time. Say prayers, though. Say prayers, because I really do believe prayers are needed. All right, let's see here. Former BlackRock guy. Who's that former BlackRock guy? Love your guest, Frank. Looks nice there, raining in North Carolina. It is nice. It's going to be about 70-something degrees today. And tonight is, the guy sailing from Oregon to Hawaii, Rosie, I already reached out to him. I reached out to him on like day 2 or something. He's got about 1 million subscribers now. Obviously, before he left, he made sure that he had a lot of video support back home. I can't imagine he's doing all that editing on the high open seas. No, Lemmy, there's no beef. There's no beef. Let's see here. Yes, and Rob is great. Just talking to Rob the other day. Rob and I still work out together every Saturday. And hopefully we get to work out on Tuesdays again too, because Thursdays had to change. Work schedules always change. What was the other thing? But the guy in the open, what the hell's his name again? Noor? I reached out to Noor a couple of weeks ago. I should try that again. What's the guy with the sailing, though? Hold on. Hold on a second. Oliver. Following. Where the hell is he? Sailing with Phoenix. 996,000. He's going to break 1 million subscribers today. And he's only been active for what? A week? April 30th. April 30th. He's been like 2 weeks he's out there. He supposedly gave up everything. Gave up his 11-year corporate job. Bought himself a boat. And by himself is sailing from Oregon to Hawaii. So I reached out to him when he still only had like 50,000 subscribers, but I'm sure that he's going to be picked up by everybody before I get a chance to flag him down. Have you tried getting Rogan on? Yeah. Have I tried booking Joe Rogan? Yeah. Yeah, I'll give that a shot. John Tesh still waiting on. Frank, when are you going to get the No Agenda Boys on? Twice I was very close to getting John from No Agenda on the books, and twice right when we're picking the date, it dies on the vine. So I'll try again. Right said Fred. I reached out to them as well because I know that they are going on a tour that's going to take them into the United States. I said, well, listen, if you are anywhere in the tri-state area, you got to come into the studio. And they like the idea, so I'm just going to follow up with them. Let's see. Have you tried getting Donald Trump, says Pickled Gamer? Yeah, I'll try again. I reached out to him. A couple of times. What about the new Pope? The crazy thing is, I could probably find somebody who's related to the new Pope and book them, or somebody that the new Pope dated in high school. So I mean, I can get Pope adjacent. I might be able to get Pope adjacent, but not the Pope himself. Oh man. Randall Carlson, again, this close. I was this close. I was talking to his media manager for a couple of weeks, and we had a couple of things on the books. We had a general date on the books, and that was the closest I got to actually mediating a flat Earth dialectic. I wanted to get Randall Carlson on one side. I said, and a flat Earth advocate on the other side, and I'd just sit back and watch them talk and ask questions and make sure they talked over each other. That was part of the game. That was part of the game plan, and it was going to be a Rumble exclusive. I was very close to getting it done, and then it just again died on the vine. So I've been trying. I'm always doing stuff. So what we got? What else we got? What's up, Bruce Starr? Good to see you. That might actually be interesting. It would have been interesting, yeah. I'm always trying. Again, you know what? I think until midday today, it's almost halfway done, but either tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to do the Quite Frankly Mother's Day raffle that Coffee Revolution wanted to do. So you still have a little bit of time to go get yourself some Quite Frankly Elevation Blend coffee. The link is in below. And based on sales, they're going to take the names and shuffle them through and announce a winner of who gets that slow drip coffee maker and also 2 pounds of coffee. So there's that. And also, thank you, Keto Brainz, for everything. I love those nights with Molly. Damn, I got in touch with Molly after the show on Friday. I said, you know what? You should go into that show and take all of those little pieces of topics that we were doing and turn them into Keto Brainz blog posts with added sources and everything. She thought it was a great idea, so be on the lookout for that. I want to get more into those, to be honest. All right. Famous people aren't always the best. I want to hear from day-to-day people who have boots on the ground. Well, I'm glad you say that, Gina, because we are looking for all types of ordinary people with extraordinary stories. That's really what I want to talk about. I want to talk to extraordinary. Some of the more memorable moments on the show are when we have open lines, and those pearls pearl callers come through, and we get calls like the plane crash survivor from the Ozarks, and you know, anybody, even when we do the crazy storylines, open lines there with the UFO flyovers and things like that. Those are the stories I really live for. You know, I like bringing on people with name recognition, especially if I am fans of theirs, just for obvious reasons. But there's so many awesome stories that still need to be unlocked from this audience. And that's why the show threads and the original topics are so big, and why I always encourage you guys to get on. Get Nino. His story is crazy. Nino, you talk about Nino Rodriguez. He's been on the show before. What story in particular? Nino's been on the show. I never got an invite back onto his. Did I? I don't think so. What month is Badass Month? It's June, but I think what we're going to do this month, this June, is we're going to do a Badass feature on Friday nights. Just Friday nights, not every night of the week. I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm trying to balance out my research load a little bit more. M3 Thods, shout out. Okay, so listen, because we've been on for about 45 minutes. You guys have been fantastic. Real quick, rapid fire in the chat room. Things you want to see on tonight's show. Go. I'm just going to watch. Topics for tonight's show. Topics, thoughts. Hypothetical questions for the audience. Would you rather? What would you do? I love questions like that. Let's see. I got my own notes, but let's see what you guys come up with. Methylene blue. Every night we should have a methylene blue update section. Dems attacking ICE. 13-foot, the 13-foot bronze statues that are being put in Times Square. Who will run for Republican for primaries? Boats back to Africa. Oh my God. Debates. What, the debate, the Jay Dyer debates? Oof. That I got to bring that up tonight. I already texted Jay. I said, like I told you guys, I said this morning, he's probably not awake yet because he's on the West Coast right now. I said, Jay, how the fuck did you do that for 8 hours? I don't know. I love would you rather questions. What's growing in your garden? Homeless camps. I have a guest for homeless stuff too. Diddy updates. Could you defeat a 6-foot humbled squid in Mortal Kombat? I don't think so. In the water? I might be able to defeat it out of the water. Does the humbled squid have a certain superpower that I don't know about? Is it like electrical charged, like the eels? Some of the eels? Lahaina? Oh, I might just have a salmon or halibut. I go salmon. Memory hole items. Karen Reed retrial. Trump saying Palestine will be a state is pretty interesting. I go, that's pretty big. Big if true. Definitely want to follow that one to its end. See what the hell happens there. Of course, some people are just so jaded, and rightfully so in many respects, that they say, oh, no, this has to be just a switcheroo, and this in itself is a trap. Well, we'll see what happens. I like hearing that. Palestine in itself is a state. Grace, cautiously optimistic. I saw that. Cautiously optimistic. Um, I think talking about Diddy trial a little bit with Lauren Conlon would be good. Well, yeah, Conlon would be good for a lot. Yeah, I also want to bring Megan Fox back on. I love when Megan Fox comes on. She always comes reporting on a couple of different cases that are going on in the country that people aren't hearing about. They're usually crazy, like that woman from New Mexico that keeps faking having twins. Remember that? Did I? Did she claim to become pregnant through oral sex? I forgot what the hell it was. It was some crazy shit. Well, this has definitely been one of our more spirited Monday morning coffee meetings because now we're able to do it outside again. What part of the country would people move to if money wasn't a problem, and why? Linda, that's a good one. I'd move to Cali, said Biz Woofer. Thinking about going back to Catholicism, should I? I love Catholicism. I don't love what's happened to the church. That's me personally. I'm not I don't go out there stumping for conversions or anything like that. It's just me. I feel very comfy, and I like it. I love it a lot. This makes me feel very well and balanced. Just do your research and pray. That's all it is. Pray on it. I was so happy. Jim Lee sent me a picture. He went to a Perfect Circle concert over the weekend. He sent me a picture of he and his daughter, his 16-year-old daughter, them outside the Perfect Circle concert. And I saw his daughter was wearing around her neck a rosary. And first the whole point of the text was, hey, it's her first concert and we're going together. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to bring Aurora to her first concert. If she was just a couple of years older, I would take her to Metallica in a couple of weeks. And I said to her, is she wearing a rosary? And he said, yeah. He said, we've been doing a little bit more research because he called in not too long ago. He talked about how he goes to services and all that. And he's a Lutheran, but he said that his wife has been doing a little bit more research. We've just been researching more, and we bought some rosaries. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy for you. You just made my whole week. I was so happy. So happy that the Lee family bought themselves some rosaries, and especially on Mother's Day weekend. Jesus' mother, tip of the cap to Our Lady. But whatever it is, find peace. Things change, man. Things change a lot. If I listen to myself 7 years ago, who the hell knows? Things change a lot. There's Lauren. She just celebrated her fourth Mother's Day or fifth. Don't tease me like that. Lauren doing a dance for me. Anyway, okay, well, I'll see you guys tonight, 7 o'clock. Tell everybody 7 o'clock we're getting together. And, yeah, Lauren, everybody says hi. That's what we got. I have a friend who makes rosaries, bought 4, and at my studio, at Studio A, I got my grandmother's old rosary, which the beads were pressed from roses. I didn't know that. My mother told me that later on. But still, this has been wonderful. I got a lot of ideas for tonight. I'm also going to be opening the lines. I have some things I'm going to throw at you, but seems like everybody has some really good ideas of what they want to talk about, and I love doing this on a Monday night because so many things happen over a weekend. Like my first Tesla ride, I was startled. I was startled when I got into this Tesla. I'll tell you why tonight. But other than that, 7 o'clock we'll be live from Studio A. Be well, become a sponsor, get some coffee, spike it with some Keto Brainz. All the links are in the description below. And I can't thank you enough for the super chatters here. I never expect that just for going live. But so I'm going to have to think of some new things to do to thank super chatters on every other night. Maybe get your name into some, I'm going to get your names into some upcoming raffles and stuff like that. So I gotta thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.